Start.
Welcome to the Science Education. I am Mr. Sanjay Moite from DS High School, Mumbai Science. Last 19 years I am teaching the subject science. You know that last year 9th standard syllabus is changed and this year 10th standard syllabus is changed. As we're teaching in the science for last 19 years, I found that due to change in the syllabus of 9th and 10th standard, students are feeling difficulty getting marks to clear the concept in biology. So I decided to make a project, science teaching aids to clear the concept. My project title is Let's Learn Biology. Here I try to show the concept of 9th standard, the teaching aids to clear the following concept. 9th standard, from this project you can see the clear the concept. Number 1, chromosome. Number 2, types of chromosomes. Then DNA, mRNA, rRNA, tRNA. Mendel is monohybrid cross, Mendel dihybrid cross. Genetic disorders. 3 genetic disorders are there: chromosomal chain, then Down syndrome, Turner syndrome, and Klinefelter syndrome. And similarly for the 10th standard, transcription, translation, translocation, mutation, mitosis stages. There are 4 different stages of mitosis, and cytogenesis and keratinogenesis and meiosis. So let us start how to clear the concept. As we know, the chromosome is a hereditary characters which transfer the character from parent to the offspring. But this is the object which is a very microscopic. So how you can explain the concept of chromosome to the student? So here I use the beads. Here I can show the first student. Now look at these beads. Here at the center I use the magnet, and at the side I have used the beads. Now look at the magnet here. On the right hand side of the magnet there are 5 beads, and on the left hand side of the magnet is a 5 beads. So this is called as a centromere. So if centromere at the center, then this chromosome is called as metacentric. The second, the chromosome, you can see that the centromere is somewhere on the other side, and from this way you can see the shape. Suppose you bend it, you can get it in the V shape. So when there is a metacentric chromosome, identify metacentric chromosome, it is V shape. And if submetacentric is there, then going to be L shape, and this is the I shaped chromosome. So like this way you can name the concept of the chromosome. In the 9th standard itself, another concept is called homozygous and heterozygous. So I will explain the students the homozygous and heterozygous. This is again the one pair of chromosome I have taken here. This is the another. So if these two chromosome always comes in the pairs, so they already look like to each other. This is called as an homozygous chromosome. This is again the another one is there. This is also called an homozygous chromosome. So from the color of the beads and the magnets, you can able to identify by the color it's a similar one. So it is a homozygous. But if I mix these together, then you can see the different colors. So heterozygous. So it can be helped to clear the concept called the chromosome called the homozygous and heterozygous. Now, if the chromosome is going to be there, then what is going to be a different types of chromosomes are going to be find out. In the 9th standard itself, in the male, the chromosomes are there. There are 22 pairs of somatic cells, and 23rd is a pair which is for the gender decision. So look at this 23rd pair. Here I use the pipe cleaner to show the chromosomes and see the size of the chromosome, which is not equal, but they found in the pair. Look at the 23rd pair, here it is R. Its basic purpose is to show that the difference between the two sides, if the change in the chromosome take place, what is going to be happen? It's a human karyotype chromosome chart. Look at the 23rd pair. One chromosome is big, one chromosome is small. This is if this type of gender chromosome is going to be there, then it is going to be what going to be formed? Here going to be a boy child. And if the 2 chromosomes are with the same height, that is both X chromosome is present, then can see the girl child can be born. So if there is a slightly variation in the one of the chromosome, size variation in the chromosome, you can see how the sudden changes can be take place. But what happens if genetic disorders are going to be there? Look at this case. Here a 23rd pair attached with the one additional chromosome, that 23 become pair 46 plus 1, the trisomy comes at the 23rd pair. If all these chromosomes are in the same height, then the person will suffer from the genetic disorders. This is the picture what is showing the genetic disorders called Down syndrome. With the Down syndrome, where 23 chromosome pair with the one chromosome. Another thing is that same situation on the 23rd pair, if one of the chromosome with the shorter side comes, then it is going to be Turner syndrome. What is going to happen in the Turner syndrome? If the person suffering from the Turner syndrome, you can see these type of genetic disorders can become. So here I want to show that if suppose the number of chromosomes are changed, the shape and shape of the chromosomes are changed, these different types of disease can be occurred. Another one, if suppose you have to explain the concept called the transgender concept, the Kenley-Filter syndrome is there. On the 23rd pair, if the sex chromosome is attached with the 22 pair, now it's become total 1 plus 2, 1, 3, total 5 chromosomes are going to be there. Now look at this, 22 become 44 plus these are the two X chromosomes, the shorter one is the Y chromosome. If this Kenley-Filter syndrome is happened, then you can see there is a genetic disorder called the gender problem comes, means the person can be see a male but actually it's going to be a female. So this concept can be tell to the student. So how the one of the chromosome can change the entire the thing of the organism. After that in 9th standard itself, we have the concept called the monohybrid and dihybrid. So if you want to show the monohybrid and dihybrid cross, here I take the Mendel dihybrid cross using the chalk. This is the P1 generation. This is called the dominant character. This is called the recessive character. When you go to the F1 generation, only one transmission is going to be there, and you can see in the F2 generation the different combinations can be occurred. And here we can show the student what is exactly the phenotype ratio and the genotype ratio. The phenotype ratio, which is the observable characteristic by looking at the color, you can see the 3 violet color and 1 blue color. So 3 violet and 1 blue. So phenotype ratio is 3:1. While the genotype ratio, you can see the RR, capital, both R is there, one capital R, other is small r, capital R. So you can see the difference, 1:2:1. So the genotype ratio is 1:2:1. So here we can clear the concept of phenotype ratio and the genotype ratio. Similarly, on the basis of the same thing, the sex determination concept is there. How you explain the concept, how the male is responsible for the male child, not the female. Male contain X and Y chromosome. Purposely it is shown that two different color, X chromosome with one chalk and the Y chromosome with the one chalk, and the female having only one type of chromosome, where the parent chromosome is called X and X chromosome. Now look at here, this Y chromosome when combined with the X from the female, only X chromosome is going to be there. So it clearly indicates that the male is responsible for getting the boy child. So sex determination can be human, can be happen, can be this concept can be explained with the help of this the chalk by the teacher. The another one is there. The another concept is called the Mendel dihybrid cross, where the two characters are taken together. That's capital R, one character, capital Y, another. These both are the dominant character and these are the recessive character. Only one is going to be transferred next. And look at these different combinations, and you can identify which is the phenotype ratio and genotype ratio. So teacher can use this type of simple teaching aids to show to clear the concept of monohybrid and dihybrid. At the back, I will show that actual suppose peas seeds are used. You can show the phenotype ratio and the genotype ratio. In case of Mendel dihybrid cross, we have the phenotype ratio is 9:3:3:1. Now these are the all concepts what is there for the 9th standard. Now we'll go for the further concept called the RNA concept, DNA and RNA concept, which is a very difficult for the students. As we know that the DNA are the master molecules. So to attract the student, first we have to create the interest of science to the student, and once you create interest, then only you can the concept of the science can be explained to the student very well. That is my experience. So this is a DNA model shown to you. In DNA model, one motor is used where this pipe cleaner is used, this stand. So from here we can say that these LEDs are used not for the attraction. We can say these LEDs are nothing but the phosphate sugar. In between the one stand is there connected with the hydrogen bond, and there are 4 different types of nucleic acid is shown here. So like this way we can attract the attention to the student to show the DNA. Now how the DNA works. Now DNA is a double helix coil, but actually it is double helix coil, but it is made up of the two different strands, strand 1 and strand 2. So the concept called the mRNA, rRNA and tRNA can be explained with the help of this. As we know that when from the nucleus, when the DNA comes in the cytoplasm, this is called as an mRNA. Look at this, the structure of mRNA, and these are the different, the bulbs I have used here to show that the different types of acid and see the attachment of the mRNA. So when this mRNA comes with different types of acids, so which type of acids are responsible, that there I use the codon wheel is there. This codon wheel gives the different, how the different types of acids can be generated. Here in the codon wheel itself, see the one wheel is contain 4 different types of nitrogenous bases, again the 4, again 4, and when you come rotate it, now look at the arrow of the light. If suppose you consider G one of the nitrogen bases, G is combined with suppose this G or A, probability of this, again this can be combined with G or A, and if G, A is combined with them, you can see on the chart which type of amino acid core can be generated. That E means glutamic acid. So like this way, different types of amino acid can now come in the mRNA with the, can be shown with the codon wheel. Now when it's come to the messenger RNA, to the tRNA, so in tRNA called the, how the anticodon is going to be there. Now look at the diagram of anticodon which is shown there, which is a two-dimensional. Here again the two-dimensional is there. Basically many times the student cannot able to understand what is phi. This is called as the phi prime, this is called as the 3 prime, this is the three-dimensional model of anticodon, this is the two-dimensional, and that is the simplified anticodon. One more that is called the ribosomes, called the rRNA, how rRNA works. So here I will show you how RNA works. So in rRNA, when it's come together, it can fit to this. So with the help of this, we can tell the student how the anticodon is making the attachment. Here with the help of the another effect also we can say the how the anticodon, but how actually tRNA works. So on printable sheet, I have taken tRNA chart. From this tRNA chart, I have made this long strip, which is, you can see the numbers over here, and after that we can get, this is the actual model of tRNA. So mRNA, tRNA and rRNA when it's combined together is, you can see how the DNA attachment is there. Now look at this, the DNA attachment, especially if this is the 3 end, and if you connected the phi at 3 end the same, it is not going to be complete DNA helix coil. But when you join the 3 end and phi end, and now this is the concept DNA is going to be formed. So here we can say the students how mRNA comes, how rRNA comes, how tRNA comes to the this type of concept to the student. Another concept in the 9th standard we have called meiosis and mitosis. So teacher can tell how the mitosis can be take place. This is the mitosis stages are there. In mitosis stages, the interphase, this is called the folding activity. All the different foldings at a time we can show the students, and we can tell them how at the end from the one cell, the two cells, diploid cells are formed. The cytonosis concept and the canonogenesis concept we can tell the student. Another way, if suppose the folding activity can tell the student is about the mitosis. Here I with the folding activity. Stage number 1, DNA contains interphase, then all the phases we can show to the students. And look at in the mitosis stage, one cell is divided into 2 different parts, the cytonogenesis. Similarly, I have showed the another called the meiosis case is there. In the meiosis, what is going to be happen? Different types of phases are there, and from the same similar we can get 4 haploid cells. Now you keep these 2 charts in front of the student, they can clearly identify from a one cell 4 haploid cell, from a one cell 2 different cells are formed. This is called in mitosis and this is in the meiosis. Even this concept can be told with the help of these stages. When the pair of chromosomes are coming together, this is the diploid cell. When exactly the metaphase is going to be there. This comes at exactly at the middle, and from the middle it gets separated, and this is coming with this, and this is coming with this, and get the diploid two cell. This is called the process called cytokinases. Similarly, at the to create to the students, I made the model called the Can You Tell. So in a Can You Tell, here the different stages are, so student has to be identified which actually phase is there. 1, 2, 3 different phases are shown. Student have to have, here the chromosomes are condensed with the centromere are there. As the pair is there, the student can tell what is exactly the phase number 1. So is phase number 1 is a prophase. So we can clap for the students. So we can motivate the student. They can easily identify this type of questions. Another one to create more interest in the students called in a constructivism called the jigsaw technique, because in the evaluation stage we are going to ask the diagram, its phases and characteristics. So if you make it like this way, a diagram, its phase and two different characteristics. So if you make these games of the jigsaw, student can able to play the game as well as they find the different types of phases and their characteristics. Like this way we can tell the concept. So these microbiological concepts which are there for the 9th standard and 10th standard, it gets clear. They may get interest in the science, and they get good marks in science, as well as they get interest in the science. So at the college level, if these concepts are clear, then in the future might be you can get a good scientist in the biology. Thank you very much.